So in 1999, the Bears they got rid of Wanstead. They fired him, and they were looking for a new head coach. Now, the thing is, Dave McGinnis, he had some Chicago lore because back in the mid-'80s, see, we're still talking about the fucking Bears in the Super Bowl in the mid-'80s. This is the problem, people. So Dave McGinnis, I guess, was a linebackers coach for the Chicago Bears. That was where he got his first stint. And there was a dinner. Mike Ditka was like, this guy is going to be the next big head coach in general. Not for the Bears, but he's going to be the next big thing, pointing to Dave McGinnis. And, just the way Dave McGinnis, his personality, the way he coaches, he earned a lot of respect between the Bears organization and the players. So now you fast forward about 15 years later, he's the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. He's on the precipice of getting a new head coaching job, and the Chicago job becomes available. And this is a big deal because, believe it or not, 20 years ago, being a Bears head coach still had some oomph to it, Not anymore, but back then it did. And this is a big deal because this guy played for the Bears, he worked for the Bears as a coach, and now he's going to come in as their new commander-in-chief, so to speak. So him and McCaskey meet, they talk, he shows them their plan. It seems like, everyone's on the same page. It's just a matter of hammering out the fiscal details, if you will, and everyone knows that can be a little bit of a problem with the Bears. As Mike Ditka once said, the old man likes to throw nickels around like manholes, and I can't imagine it's any different amongst the kids. Because again, when you make $250 million a year and you have no way of creating any more revenue beyond that because you have no business acumen, you're going to be cheap. That was just a cheap shot. I apologize. Anyway, so Dave McGinnis wakes up in his hotel room the next morning, and he discovers that as he listens to the radio, the Bears are announcing that he's their new head coach. Well, that's great, isn't it? Well, not really, because you haven't really hammered out the details of your contract. And, are you going to go out there and be like, yeah, I'm the head coach when you haven't even signed anything? You have no leverage in the negotiations. And then on top of that, Dave McGinnis has people calling his hotel room like Leslie Frazier, a former Bears cornerback who was in the college ranks at the time looking to kind of break into the NFL as a head or as a coach. So he calls McGinnis and says, hey, coach, I hear you got hired by the Bears. That's great. You got a job. I can, get me out of this situation I'm in. I don't know if he said that, but, do you got a job? Is there a job available? And he's like, look, I haven't even been offered the job technically. I don't even have a contract. I can't promise you something I don't already have. So you can see the sour grapes kind of starting to form. And this article that I have here on the screen really actually talks about the chaos that was going on in the media during the press, because the Bears called a press conference to announce this guy as their head coach. He hadn't even signed anything yet. And just based on that, the discombobulation, the disorganization, just overall everything in general, this was all conducted by Mike McCaskey. And I think this is just a perfect example of how bad the Bears are and just how disorganized they are, and how this is why, a perfect example of why they will never be successful.